Good afternoon. I'll be talking about the knowledge transfer system, like Jeff said. This project is a flagship project for the SHRP2, if I can use that word. When SHRP2 research was going on and the products were nearing completion in the reliability program area, the technical coordinating committee and the expert task groups that were monitoring the SHRP2 research progress, they have come to realize that there should be a tool or a one-stop shop place or one place where all research activities can be funneled into for a quick use. And that's how the concept of knowledge transfer system for a SHRP2 program, reliability program started. Then it got expanded into a larger domain of getting other operational programs linked up into that knowledge transfer system. And right now it is going through more enhancements. So I'll be walking you through quickly. I've got about an ambitious 23-slide presentation here. I'll not be standing before you and lunch, and I'll quickly go through the slides as best as I can. This gives you a quick background on how the KTS program started. The very first bullet on this slide is the web link where you can go today. It is www.tsmoinfo.org. And when you access that site, you will be able to see most of the functions that are listed under the bullet that you can carry out. It has got a calendar application. It has got access to ongoing, completed, and upcoming, a brief synopsis of the SHRP2 products and programs. It has got an opportunity for the TSM&O practitioners to make a case for the business case, make a business case for your operations programs. It has got some ideas on that. This project also was created to take up any gap-filling activities that the original research has not taken up into the scope, and they have emerged as the product was nearing completion. And those gap-filling projects information is also there at this site. It provides you links to several ongoing programs in USDOT, integrated corridor management, active traffic management, other programs related to ITE and ITS America. There's a search application there. It has a good glossary activities. You don't have to depend on Wikipedia to see what is the definition of something. Now you have an authentic place to go to see what is the definition of a particular activity within TSM&O domain. And frequently asked questions. Somebody wants to know if this question ever is answered, what could be the answer? There are some general ideas built into that. So that's the existing KTS framework. Now, for any SHRP2 project, before it gets into implementation level, an implementation planning workshop was conducted. And based on the workshop, an implementation plan for that product was developed. So for this project also, an implementation planning workshop was held. And one of the quick understanding from the audience we assembled, and again, these were from all walks of TSM&O, Transportation System Management Operation practitioners, state DOTs, MPOs, cities, academia, everybody got together. It was a collaborative effort, again, between AASHTO, Federal Highway, other entities through TRB, IT, ITS America, we all got together. And in that workshop, definitely we identified that this has got a promise. And it has got a promise that can go to any visions and any heights in the future. And to take it to that, there could be some enhancements done to this product to make full benefit and to make it to a full potential, realize it to a full potential. And for that, the future activities for this product to take up has resulted into the enhanced knowledge transfer system project that is underway today. And the input came from the user inputs, the future enhancements are many to come up with. It will talk about enhancements. It will talk about active support for this web portal system if it is established in the future for a regular application. And also, a solid understanding came through from the group discussion at the implementation planning workshop was that there are several such services are provided across the domain of TSM&O. If you go to ITE, you have NTOC that is run by ITE today for Federal Highway, reaching out to the TSM&O groups. So how can these align together as a one stream of activity? How can you make this KTS as a one-stop shop, not just for SHRP2, but a larger domain of TSM&O activities? So that's how the enhancements came through. So there are two principal objectives for the enhanced knowledge transfer system project that is currently underway. And I'll come to that in a minute, who are working on it and how it got created. So we have a knowledge transfer system from the research domain. We have an implementation planning workshop. There was a decision to enhancements. Enhancements are going on today with two objectives. One is how best we can make this KTS product available, knowledge transfer system product available to all TSM Endo practitioners. And what are the principal services it can provide, and how best we can make sure that this program can sustain in some manner in the long run in the future. And the concept of Center for Excellence for Operations came in at that time. So there should be a national level of one-stop facility, which could be National Operations Centers of Excellence. And I'm throwing these terms very periodically and systematically because the concept did not evolve overnight. This need was felt since last 10 to 12 years that there should be one-stop shop. But this research gave it to fruit that, okay, this is a consolidated thought, this is the right time now, the timing is right, the research is getting done on SHRP2, there's a larger interest in operations. So this web portal system, knowledge transfer system, can be enhanced and also can future become a Center for Excellence for Operations. So that's how the thought evolved. So what exactly this will do? Again, I said I'm repeating many times, it could be a one-stop shop for reliability products, but also it serves as a framework for peer exchanges, best practices sharing on high priority areas. You know, on every area there could be a best practice, but there could be some key areas like Paul suggested how he's doing for the test bed for the TIM program. That's a best practice. Now, if you want to make that available for a larger audience, this could be the place where we can put some of the findings from that into this portal frame and others can access it and use it. Connected vehicle program in the future. There are so many test beds right now, hotspots going on. How can you bring that information into a one web portal frame system and make it available to everybody else? Performance measures coming up in the future big time. So what each state is doing today, how they can access the data, what manipulation or what application of those data go into TSM&O. So I can go on this, you know, you can think of this. You're all pretty much well versed with this program. Again, active traffic management, integrated corridor management, these programs are there, hit and miss all over the country. How can you bring those learning curves into one portal frame that people can make best use of it? So some of the key functions are listed on this slide. Definitely, if these enhancements are done and the knowledge transfer system becomes a continuous application in the future, available to everybody, which is a reality which will happen, then it will definitely have an active staff support. So it's not like a portal frame you're entering in, and sometime in the future, if you have a question or a concern, somebody would come in, you can pick up the phone, call that person, send an email. There's an active staff support for that service that system will provide. It will have a newsletter. It already has that potential today. NTALK is doing that today. This all will be merged into this program, and there will be a newsletter that is more broader based, reaching out to larger TSM&O audience, covering most of the functions we have discussed today. It also will have active links to several programs within ITE, ITS America, Federal Highway, AASHTO, Operations Academy that Maryland is doing today, University of Maryland, and also the research needs. A consolidated one-stop shop where you can see what research activity is going on, what is coming down the pike. AASHTO SSOM will come up with 20-7 research proposals. Probably this is the place immediately it will have an access to see what they thought, what they're doing, where it is going with the activities. So before I go over these tasks, after the implementation planning workshop, then an implementation plan came through. It identified these tasks. Based on these tasks, we have come together as a team between AASHTO, ITE, ITS America, established an MOU to work collectively on these elements of the task. But also, we collectively agreed that if at all we come together as a team now, we will hang in there and see that the National Center is also formed for Operations for Excellence. So with that MOU established, the team got together, collectively put a proposal around these tasks, and these tasks are taken up as the EKTS project tasks, or Enhanced Knowledge Transfer System tasks. These include, it will have an administrative and engagement structure, which will have an executive committee or an advisory committee. It will also have an outreach and engagement portion, to reach out to a larger audience to see what is the KTS in the research mode today, what enhancements we can come from the user group into that, and how the enhancements are carried out is based on the user group input and the existing KTS requirements that have to be transitioned into a larger portal frame, and also build that KTS enhancements, test it, launch it, coordinate and integrate with the NTOC service today that the IT is providing, and also run that EKTS program and continuously sustain it. So these are the 5 tasks in the existing EKTS project we have. This kind of gives you a project management structure for the EKTS project. So like I said, the Federal Highway is providing the funds for doing these enhancements. So we are under contract with Federal Highway. AASHTO is the lead contract provider for that. And we have subcontracts with ITE and ITS America. And we also have CH2M Hill with AASHTO as a retainer to provide any implementation support for any SHRP2 activities. So they're part of the team. So this is our project management team. And in the next slide, you will see to the left, there's an executive committee that we have established. That executive committee is, again, collaboratively formed with all the associations in the MOU that I described, contributing to the list, becoming the executive committee. We have members from ITE, ITS America, and AASHTO to be in that. Jeff is on that as an ex-official from Federal Highway. So we have everybody's participation from the executive committee. We have the staff from AASHTO. We have ITE staff working on it, so you can see the entire picture there that it is collaboratively done. So I'll take some time to go over these milestones. The EKTS project required in its implementation plan that an MOU is established between the 3 associations, so that is done. We have done even before getting into the scope so that we are all on the same page when we are getting this project started. Then the executive committee, you have seen it is done. We are going to the preliminary management plan and schedule. I mean, project management plan, actually, every item is broken down into what activity is taken up, how the user group input is sought, how the enhancements are identified, what web applications are going to be retained from what program, with the research program through the NTOC enhancements or KTS enhancements, how they are done. Then the next step would be to launch the enhanced EKTS, coordinate the integration of the NTOC services into that. Then EKTS will be done by May, hopefully that's our plan this year. And by September, October, we should be able to launch it, to run it. So that's a very aggressive schedule we have. And the timing is so right for me from AASHTO on this because SSOM annual meeting is in Nashville. Paul is hosting that for us in Tennessee. And when they come together and if this EKTS platform is ready, the Center for Excellence is a strong program that AASHTO can take up and run with. So these are some of the collective ideas forming at the KTS level, going into EKTS, Enhanced Knowledge Transfer System, ultimately taking it to the National Center for Excellence. So some of the quick rundown of the activities right now. So the outreach and engagement plan is very important task in the enhancement portion of the project. A large TSM&O community is identified as a user group. We are working on several enhancements that come from this user group to be incorporated into the scope. And again, some of the items I'm repeating on this slide, what EKTS would do. It will have an actively managed website. It will have a staff member committed to this to provide continuous support. I'll go to the next slide to give you what is actually happening in the outreach and engagement. About 200 TSM&O user groups are established, 200 members. These are drawn from all communities of TSM&O practice, from ITE, ITS America, from AASHTO, SSOM, and other subcommittees. And Federal Highway gave their input into that, who should be in that. These members are reached out through emails, through phone calls. A staff member from our team is continuously talking to them, listening to their, there's a questionnaire that we prepared, we sent out to them. And some of you who have attended some meetings here must have seen a flyer, there's this going on the EKTS. And the information is collected. This is the litmus test for where the knowledge transfer system is, how it is received today, the one it is getting completed in the TRB, the research phase of it. And when those inputs come from these listening sessions, from this outreach and engagement, we are also going to work with ITE on the NTALK services that are provided. Collectively, they will become the suite of enhancements to be identified that will be carried out to build up the KTS to become enhanced knowledge transfer system. So that's the path for KTS becoming enhanced knowledge transfer system. You can also provide input through this email address we have here, ekts@ashto.org. So the feedback is not just through 200 people. I mean, if you have any information, even from this group, we welcome any input from you all into this email. And when you access that, you will see the questionnaires, you'll see the information on that. You can send an email back to that. So that process is also established here. Now it comes back how we will use this enhanced knowledge transfer system. It is important to understand that when this KTS was done in the implementation planning workshop, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, it was a quick understanding that there are many resources available today, but having a one-stop shop is important. So that is a driving force for having a centralized service like this. The best practices and peer exchanges are, again, sporadically communicated and related to each other agencies in many different formats, but this could be a unified approach where they can get it. The most important thing is how to build the synergy in the TSM&O community. This is a one voice for operations, in my opinion, which we have been trying to get to that. You know, from Colorado, you mentioned maintenance. All my life, in my state DOT experience for 25 years, and Ingrid is here, she can support it, we tried to get a maintenance operator into the TOC environment on a regular basis so that he would access your TOC software, get familiar with what requirements you have to post a message on DMS sign. So how do you bring in that synergy? I think this center can help that. You know, we can have a maintenance person during free time just access this KTS website, get familiar with a lot of terminology we are talking, which is Greek to them, and theirs to us, to operations. So how do you make that connection possible here? So this is a wonderful opportunity for that. The next one would be transitioning after the EKTS built-in. I want to spend a few minutes in the next few slides on where would it lead to the Center for Excellence. So like I said, with all the enhancements, with all the features built in, with NTALK and KTS becoming one enhanced knowledge transfer system package, it's a perfect opportunity to say that we have a one-stop shop. At that time, how the active staff support we are providing to that upkeep of the enhanced knowledge transfer system can be metamorphosized and expanded to provide a national level support for operations is the concept we are driving in the National Operations Center for Excellence. This is not an AASHTO center, this is not ITE, this is not ITS America, but it is a national center that any TSM&O community practitioner can make benefit of this center. So that's how the concepts are built in. We are also working with AASHTO very closely to see, to establish a technical service program, which is a usual process within AASHTO, that every operations, maintenance, traffic engineering, bridge community, they all look at providing services through a technical service program. Like Paul, you have seen it in maintenance. We have got 4 such programs established. So we are working with AASHTO SSOM community to come up with a technical service program, which is not a necessarily AASHTO or SSOM technical service program, but it will be a National Operations Center for Excellence technical service program. To this effect, in the last year SSOM meeting, AASHTO SSOM and AASHTO Standing Committee on Highways, Paul is the vice chair for that, and AASHTO Board of Directors have collectively endorsed a resolution through AASHTO process to establish the Center for Excellence, but also look into the technical service program formation. So this year, we are also routing for that process to complete and have a technical service program established. So all these things, synergies, will lead to the creation of the National Center for Excellence. So that's my take on this. Then we also feel that the EKTS, once it is run and established and all the bugs are open up and it is thrown open for a permanent launch of the system, the center would be the EKTS and EKTS would be the center. So they'll almost merge together on that time. And again, we will have a continued collaboration with Federal Highway, with ITE, with ITS America, and we all come together as a team. We have an existing MOU that will be expanded more, and the ultimate goal is to make sure that this center would survive, sustain, take up all the future upcoming SHRP2 activities, implementation or reaching out or product dissemination, but also expand it to future programs, the technology applications on the connected vehicle, the performance measures programs in the future. You know, when MAP 21 comes in July, we need to have responses provided. We need to make sure that the data is available. How this could be a forum where you can interactively engage yourself in and provide your voice to what kind of programs you want to take up in the TSM&O domain. Briefly, the products and services, I've been telling them again, the same thing on the technical services on the center. It will mimic whatever EKTS is delivering on the virtual center, and you also will have some staff support to do that. You can have peer exchange forums in person based on the requests coming into the center. If the synergy resources are available, then a corner state approach can be held. If 4 or 5 states come together and have a peer exchange forum, an incident management workshop, you can work with Federal Highway or the NIH tomorrow, bring that product to that group, but the center can be the focus area for you to reach out to what you need. And those services can be demonstratively handled through this process. I also want to give a perception on what AASHTO's vision is on that. And again, I didn't catch your name from Colorado, but I work with Don. I'm Don's staff on the SSOM. Committee is the chair for that. You can see that throughout this pyramid, there are every acronym there represents a program area within state DOT. You know, operations and management at the very bottom, SSOM. The SCOTSEM stands for Security and Emergency Management. I mean, Subcommittee on Transportation Security and Emergency Management. The SCOM, SCOM, you know, I keep calling them SCOM and they don't like me. But Subcommittee on Maintenance, that's a maintenance program, again. So all these programs, traffic engineering and highways and up to board of directors, who are the CEOs of the companies, of the state DOTs for all the programs, every one of them, we have passed the resolution last time at the SSOM, is taken out each one of these committees. And every one of them have unanimously endorsed the resolution saying that this is a good thing to happen because this connects the dots. This connects the interdisciplinary nature of the operations program that depends on work zones for construction program, that depends on snow and ice for maintenance, that depends on radio communications with the maintenance programs. So the center would become, as a safety net for all those operations programs that each one of these individual committees and entities are handling in their state DOT perspective. And this model is same for any public sector you take up at the counties and the public works or municipalities or MPOs. And again, I'm repeating most of it here, but also it connects with federal highway programs like ICM, ATM that are very popular in Washington, Minnesota, California, New York. How would my friends in Alabama, Mississippi, and I'm not slighting them, they have their own good programs, many good programs. So cross-building of the interests in those programs, how we can make that happen. And that's what we are trying to achieve through this. And again, the Regional Operation Forum this afternoon, you'll hear it's a very popular SHRP2 highly balloted program when we requested state DOTs to give their input. And there was a lot of interest besides the programs you heard today on the operations forums because that provides a training opportunity for most of the cross-cutting but also existing initiatives and operations. And if that program ever becomes for implementation activity, the center would be really playing a very decisive role on making that program successful throughout the country. And with ITE, ITS America support, we believe this can go very far ahead of that. So the last 2 slides, I want to just put a path on in front of you what the National Operations Center for Excellence. And you know, these are very clear interchangeable terms. EKTS is not gone. Whatever I said in the first 20 slides, this presentation is about the knowledge transfer system. But if knowledge transfer system successfully leads its enhancements, It will become the National Center for Excellence. And this is a programmatic path for the ITE, AASHTO, ITS America collectively working with Federal Highway and developing the enhancements. And you can see that the EKTS path is, it will have a soft launch with the existing site or existing KTS. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, they're all concurrent programs. It's not like only we're waiting for Phase 1 to finish. But all those enhancements progressively take you to the building up of the National Center. Now I want to superimpose the AASHTO path to that, because AASHTO has got an internal structure within the subcommittees. So what we are thinking is by 2014, the Nashville SSOM meeting, we will have a resolution passed where the last year resolution will be upgraded to a new resolution that Don Hunt from our SSOM chair would be from Colorado DOT Executive Director, who is the chair. And I'm sure Paul will help me to get this through the SCO as a vice chair for SCO, is to make sure that the SSOM would adopt a resolution to establish the Technical Service Program, which is a state DOT contributed program. They put money into that program to enhance TSM&O activities nationwide. And that will be a center TSP, Technical Service Program. So AASHTO would like to bring more resources to the table, along with Federal Highway support for the center, and with the Enhanced Knowledge Transfer System, and join with IT, ITS America. It's a very unique collaborative model that has never happened before, so we are very proud of it, up to now what we have achieved in the collaborations. And that will take us from the 2014 SSOM meeting. We will walk through on that arrow to the right side. By 2015, we believe that the Technical Service Program and the center will come together. The board will approve the resolution. We'll start getting the resources from the states. And by October, we'll go back to the board and say that, hey, we have done a good job. Some of the CEOs have contributed, some did not, so we'll ask for more. But we will make sure that it's not only asking for resources, but a resounding endorsement of a concept that will take the TSM&O to new heights and new domain. So that's my last slide. This is the contact information for the program. We have Doug Noble here from ITE. He's our ITS. He's our partner in this team, so he's on the slide. And others are also listed.